that at the moment. And here we go. Does he get down the inside? Yes.
But he's not on the right
with
side.
hesitation, but the problem is when you get down to turn 4, it works against you. And he's got a penalty already for a little nudge down the inside. He can't afford another one of those, and he's got Woody tucked in behind him, so he's trying to find a way high and low, and it's not quite working at the moment. I can see water on the lens of one of our cameras down there at the moment, so it might be arriving a little earlier. We've got 12 to go, and things are starting to get wild at Queensland Raceway as Mostert now plunges down the inside and have a go at Castki. He just pulls the pin and launches that thing down the inside, and it is on. Heimgartner high and wide. He's got the rooster tail of dirt going. Mostert down the inside. He moves it up into 4th, but he's got a 5-second penalty. In behind Heimgartner is Payne. Woody's in the mix here as well, and Brody's got the gloves on. He's punching on.
And Heimgartner's returned serve, but now he's run wide. So he's going to be out in the mulga on the way out of turn 2. Payne's pushed his way down the inside. Wood's down there too. Watch this. This is going to be out of control. The braking area for turn 3.
At one stage, Chaz was driving on the white line down there. It's a block of supercars. They're chained together. They're angry. It's a vicious battle out there at the moment. There's cars going everywhere. Mostert's up on the outside. Heimgartner will not yield. He wants a result. He is hungry, and have a go at the proximity of the cars. Turn 4. We're looking from the back of Andre's car. Mostert next in the queue. Are they pointing at weather or are they pointing at the action?
I'm not sure. Could be either.
Because either of those could change the game. Turn 6. Heimgartner in 4th. Then Mostert. Then Payne. Then Castki. Then Di Pasquale. Then Wood. Then Golding in position number 10. Train of supercars blast down the straight, and Heimgartner hanging on nicely in position number 4.
It looks like there's an air jack or something hanging down on Mostert's car. Just saw something hanging down. The guys have been trying to report what it is. It's the right-hand side air jack.
I saw the same thing, Mark, and it's bouncing up and down on the road. Remember, it happened to Tim Slade in a practice session once at Sydney Motorsport Park at Blanchard Racing, and it's happened here to Chaz. If that thing grabs a curb, that could be a bit of a worry.
Yes, certainly could. A lot of damage to the structure of the chassis where the air jack is actually welded in.
What's happening here is this cluster of cars is tightening up all the way back to David Reynolds and Jack LeBronc, all the way back to effectively 12th and 13th position, and then Bryce Fullwood further behind them. So there's the slow-mo replay thanks to Repco, and you can see that AP Racing air jack is hanging down in the right front corner of the car. Live pictures on your primary screen, and Heimgartner's got a momentary breather. Mostert up 9 positions. Waters up 12 positions. Reynolds and Heimgartner up 7. Golding up 10 positions. So there's quite a few people that have made good ground today. At the sharp end is where the focus lies at the moment. Feeney Wood, that gap has gone out to 2.5 seconds now. So it's going to change. Yeah, it's been made. Followed then by Mostert, followed by Brown and Kai. Chad?
I was monitoring the radio for car 2. They got told Chaz's P3, 13 seconds back. Max fuel save, Ryan Wood. Max fuel save. And look at that, he's just knocked it off 1.2 seconds.
Here we go. We've got contact here. Thanks for that, Chad. But that's all lighting up down here at the moment in the battle between Brown and Allen. And that brings Di Pasquale into the party. Oh, and it's on again at the right-hander at turn 5, and contact again as they fight. And Di Pasquale climbs over the top of Allen. There's damage on Brown's car. It's gone crazy at the back end in Adelaide. And this could change everything for Will Brown and for Kai Allen.
Have to be careful here now, because you don't need to have steering damage when you get to turn 8. They got through there really well. Great job. Damage on the back of Will Brown's car. Aggressive move by Kai Allen. Down the inside there is Matt Payne on Anton Di Pasquale. Smoke coming off the right rear. He's missed the apex massively there, Will Brown. It's put Kai Allen in contention at the last corner.
What a way to complete the 33rd race of the championship season. These guys are clinging by their fingernails for a battle in this championship. Matt Payne's in there. Thomas Randall's in there. Anton Di Pasquale's got damage. He's dropped out of the play. Got 2 laps to go. Feeney's now got nearly 7 seconds as they go through the process with Wood and Mostert flipping them around. But we cannot take our eyes away from this little battle at the moment. What a wild moment 1 lap ago, and it's on again at turn 5 as Randall covers this time. He's covering Payne. There's Mostert.
He's driven off into the distance while these blokes have been doing that.
They're trying to tear him apart. And now Waters down the inside on his teammate. And now we've got a chase on for the lead between Hill and Payne as Cam just goes down into turn 1 and closes off any margin, but he might be vulnerable here. We've got a bird's eye view of what could be a change for the lead as they approach turn number 2. Payne's on the wrong side of the road. He has to clear the throttle. That allows Randall to have a sniff at this as well as they continue to work on the run towards the right-hander at 4, and he's got his nose up in there. He pushes and shoves. There's rocks and rubber flying everywhere, and Payne is now the new leader. Hill displaced, and now Randall gets his elbows into the game, and he might be into position 2.
And Ryan Wood. So there's a form an orderly cue because he's tried to fire himself down the inside afterwards also. That could not have been better positioning for us to see the drama through turn 2, 3 and 4. We were right there with a bird's eye view to watch the chaos of those flowing right-left slalom corners and the way that Matt Payne was able to get by in the end.
So that could have ended in tears. Waters is now pitting. That leaves Heimgartner in the lead from Courtney. Hard to take your eyes away from this. This is awesome, Chad.
And the more that they battle on the racetrack, the more this could be helping Cam Waters. If they take 2 tyres, and they might grab all these guys on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing. Well done, Chad. Because if he pops out, he could be leading this race. This is on. Here's Percat, the leader, over the hill. Here comes Waters. Does he get by? He does, but he pops into effectively equal second. He won't be able to stay on the right-hand side, and Randall, his teammate, looks after him.
Have a look at that freight train. Now for Waters, this is an ice cream headache. He's on cold tyres, but he finds himself parachuted into the middle of the most intense battle. So he's got to get those tyres up to temp and pressure, and this is going to be a hell of a job for him by the time he gets down to turn 6. So Percat ran that lap longer, and that made the difference to be able to get him into a primary position here. What a race we've got unfolding this afternoon as we see Randall bringing up the dust and dirt on the outside. He's got Jones all over him, and they're all assaulting Waters on a cold tyre. Underneath them here as well, we've got Golding. He's on the inside of Waters. There's some hip and shoulder involved in that. Meantime, for the effective lead, these two are fully at it at the moment as well, for both Percat and for Feeney. Our race leader, though, is still Heimgartner and Courtney in behind, but have a go at this pack.
And not just far behind either. Matt Payne's pulled straight into this battle, and so's David Reynolds. So those 2 cars in behind are absolutely there. Now watch Percat. He's done the same thing as Mostert. He turns it down early, and he takes the opportunity for Feeney away from firing down the inside. He's in a good spot this time, Croppo.
Looking from the rear bumper of Nick Percat's Bendix car at the Red Bull Ampol racer of Brock Feeney. Nothing between those 2 cars up the back straight. Feeney trying to figure out a crisscross manoeuvre, up high, down low, trying to see whether or not he can unsettle him, moving around in the mirrors. He's underneath him, and they make side-to-side contact, and he grabs him to cross the line clear of car number 10. So that was a nice move. Big pressure at the front of this field at the moment.
Nice manoeuvre, very nice manoeuvre. I thought that Nick might have given him a bump over the hill after that.
Green flag, green flag.
Chaz Mostert's got control of the field. Brock stalks him. They advance the throttles and get rolling. 4 laps to go on the Gold Coast for the Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500. Part 2 of the elimination final. Heimgartner in that R&J Batteries entry in 3rd position. They're trying to hang on from a fast Matt Payne. Cam Waters in there if anybody makes a mistake, and these two to argue the lead of the race. Mostert versus Feeney. It's supercar rock and roll time with the checkered flag here. It's going to be a big pressure run to the back end of this one. The lights are on. Mostert's made a good start of it for the first half of this lap.
That restart disadvantaged Andre Heimgartner massively. with a couple of cars that were
Race
in
control
there.
attention on team. Stewards have imposed a 15-second time penalty on car 18 for a driving infringement.
Anton Di Pasquale pays the price for touching the back of James Courtney right there at turn 11. And there's more touching going on back in the field here at the moment between Kai Allen and Thomas Randall. Mark's been talking about the implications of their battle in this championship and who gets eliminated at the end of the day. They've got hand-to-hand combat going at the back end of this one. Meantime, it's 0.4 of a second between Mostert and Feeney at the moment, and it's 0.5 of a second between Heimgartner and Payne as the big argument rages at the front of the field.
Heimgartner was caught. There was a couple of slow cars, or at least one slow car caught between Feeney and him.
But Heimgartner's got away ever so slightly now from Payne. And this will be a bit of juice for Andre Heimgartner if he can stitch together a result this afternoon. Down the inside comes Allen. He's on the dirty side of the road. He forces the issue with Thomas Randall and he makes good and fires out the other side in first gear.
Don't talk to me, I'm just braking.
So Thomas Randall on the radio. It's a thunderous train on the run up towards the beach chicane here that involves Allen, Randall, Brown and Di Pasquale, who's got 15 seconds hanging over his name to be applied at the end of the race. And then it is Wood, followed by Cameron, Castki, Reynolds, Murray and Evans, our 15.
That was pretty lively.
Look at the side of Thomas Randall's car. It's battle-scarred from all the way down the left front to the left rear of that car. Back to the lead of the race. And there's nothing in it. 0.4 of a second is the gap between Mostert and Feeney for a nail-biter on the Gold Coast for day 2. Sam Scafidi, the engineer on the radio, encouraging Mostert. Brock just fires in there with not a millimetre left under brakes. They throw both their cars up and over the top of the chicane. And he tries to go down the inside, Feeney, but it didn't quite work. There is absolutely nothing in it, and he had to yield, or it could have been considered a bump and run.
And have a look at how Heimgartner's ranged up in behind there now, because he was blocking. Mostert was blocking. Feeney was all locked up. They actually hit, but they were going slow in the end, and they both got away with it. This is on at the front of the field, and a big dive by Feeney. This is a massive moment.
He rescued it. He rescued it. He threw everything at it, Brock Feeney, but he almost threw away either the lead or second place, because now Heimgartner is well and truly in this, and so is Payne, and so is Waters. If anything, it let Mostert off the hook. They were playing for keeps at the northern end of the racetrack, and unfortunately the gamble didn't quite work for Brock. Mostert could be on here for the double. He put together a big day on Saturday. He's got a margin now of 1 second, and they've got 2.9 kilometres to go on the Goldie.
Can Heimgartner?
Feeney, then Heimgartner, then Payne, then Waters. There is nothing between second, third, fourth and fifth at the moment.
I don't think Heimgartner's got the ultimate pace there, Neil. I thought he was going to be able to make some ground on Feeney in the braking area. The last lap now, Feeney's been able to come off turn 4 with enough gap to capitalise on the way that car's been behaving all day. Big slide there for Heimgartner coming off turn 11. This is a dive. This is a dive for the podium from Payne.
And he's vulnerable. He's vulnerable on the run up here to 12, but he covers. And he covers just in the nick of time as he turns in Heimgartner. He's only got a couple more corners to negotiate. He's clinging by his fingernails to a spot on the podium here. This is going to mean a lot to him. It's going to mean a lot to Brad Jones Racing. But meantime, at the front of the field, this guy sticks together a double. Chaz Mostert has done a lovely job on the goal today. What a performance for him. Grabs the checkered flag at 150 points and stamps his name on a place well and truly in the semi-finals.
That goes. Yeah, bloody ripper.
Threw everything at it. He had that thing locked up, sliding, grinding, trying to find a way down the inside of Chaz. He didn't get there, but in the process, he almost undid himself, almost exposed himself to a complete positional change involving Heimgartner and Payne. But in the end, it's settled, and he came home the runner-up. But wow, and what a moment for this bloke. Brad Jones will be back in Albury unwell at the moment, celebrating this. They've been looking for that. It's a nice little bit of sugar at the end of a tough run for Heimgartner, and what a weekend for this guy. Here we go. We've got 5 remaining at Sandown. We've been racing for an hour and 31 minutes. And Wood goes full defence down the inside. That makes him pretty slow through the mid-corner. Up on the outside goes Brown. He's trying every trick in the book. Now he goes to the outside of turn 2, switches across to the other side. Ryan hangs on. The two of them throw them over the top of the curbs at 2, 3, and then 4. Right here was where Woody got crossed up last time. A bit wiser this time to keep the thing straight and the traction nice.
I reckon he's got to plunge it down the inside of turn 4. If he's going to get him, he's got to do it somewhere that we don't really recognise. He won't get him in the traditional spots. And what Ryan's also got to do is not cover so hard. He doesn't need to go all the way to the inside and have to run over all the rubber debris so far offline.
What this has done, it's given a cushion to Mostert. It's now 2.3 seconds between first and second. This is exactly what Mostert is hoping for.
Yep, so the drive traction, we heard the wheel spin.
Yeah, keep focusing on the drive.
Intentional teams, bad sportsmanship flag to car 1 for exceeding track limits.
So now he can't do that. So the track limit issue is a problem for Will Brown. He's been warned about it there on the race management channel. The officials have said you've used all your lives up. He's almost alongside the way into 2. He can't get around there. But I reckon there's a dive down the inside here that's on.
There could be one
this
here
is the one
on the run to turn 4, and there's side-to-side contact, and it's on. It's on the run out of turn 4.
Got it.
And Brown gets up one spot after a real tough run and a real rough up. Mostert, Castki. That big buffer that was out to 3 seconds has diminished to a car length now. And Castki is swamping Chaz Mostert, whose tyres have clearly seen their best.
Have a look at the lap times. So his fastest lap is a 28.63. The last lap was a 31.6. So 3 seconds slower.
Here we go. Here we go. Down the inside, forces the issue at turn 5, and Castki to the lead. You could sense it coming, and he just demanded that he was going through there. Make way. Here he is.
If these guys fire themselves off, which is a big chance, David Reynolds could win this race. Who knows what unfolds here now. So the outside line, what they're doing and what Cooper Murray's done an exceptional job of, Neil, is at Forest Elbow, he runs around the high line. The outside line has got more grip. So that outside line where it never gets used, the exposed aggregate of the bitumen, and here comes Goldie. He's putting a move on, he's down the inside. He's giving him a hit, he's off the road. Matt Payne goes through. He'll have to redress. He'll have to redress now.
That's going to be...
That's over.
That is going to be frowned upon almost certainly by race control. This changes this motor race.
Matt Payne.
This changes this motor race dramatically. Now they're going to have to do deep analysis on this one. Whatever goes on here, we are experiencing one of the great motor races at Bathurst. And we knew that this was brewing. Let's have a look at the replay. He tries to fire up the inside. Goldie makes light contact, and I think Murray was also just starting to tighten that line down. There's going to be wildly different views on what's right and wrong here. Now, Matt Payne is in the lead of the race from Goldie, from Reynolds now on the podium. Here's the onboard bang, gets him in the right rear. Now, did he tag him, or did the gap diminish? Depends on which team you're barracking for as to what your viewpoint's going to be. What's the view of the driving standards advisor? What's the view of the stewards? These are tough calls. It's a great save. It's a great save. First gear, get on with it. Out the other side, he's still in 4th. And have a go at the reaction. Have a go at the reaction at Grove Racing. They've gone crazy down there. If you don't have sweaty palms at home watching this, nothing's going to turn you on.
That is just unbelievable now. And David Reynolds, don't discount him now, because Reynolds is right in contention. He's right behind James Golding. There's 5 laps remaining, and when you think about that, it's with, 4 now as they go across the strike, still 25 kilometres to go in the race.
Oh my goodness. So the stewards are going to investigate 31 and 99. We knew that. We knew that would be the scenario. we are witnessing an extraordinary exchange. Matt Payne now leads this race. He has done a remarkable job today to climb up 17 positions from a lowly qualifying. He's had 5 race victories in his supercar career. He might be able to jag a victory at Mount Panorama. How about Garthander? 648th supercar race for him. He might, as the co-driver of that lead car, end up with a 6th Bathurst victory. He's already been in the stratosphere when it's come to achievement at this location. He potentially could go up another level, but we are not done. We've still got 3.5 laps to go. This thing constantly changes. It's Golding in second, 1 second adrift. Question mark over what that move was about and how will they adjudicate. And Reynolds has got a car that's flying out there. If Reynolds pulls this thing out of the mist, that's a miracle.
It is an absolute miracle. And this is now the first lap of the day, coming from 18th position for Tander and Payne. The first lap they've led all day. 4 laps remaining, and it gets to the lead. Just outrageous, this race.
The top 3. Payne's made 17 spots from the start. Golding's made 11. Reynolds has made 12. Cooper Murray's made a couple. He was inside the top 10, and Heimgartner's made 14.
Race control attention all teams. Stewards have imposed a 5-second time penalty on car 31 for a driving infringement.
Penalty awarded to James Golding for the move at turn 2. 5 seconds is the penalty for James Golding, and that is going to put him back with Cooper Murray. That brings David Reynolds up to second. Charlie Schwerkolt, Adrian Burgess, all of the group inside that outfit at Team 18. They will not be able to believe their luck. They've got a fast race car, and they are now effectively up in second position as a result of that. But we're not done. We've got 3 laps to go. Depends on the margins at the end of it, whether there could be the 5 seconds in there. But I doubt it based on the speed of this thing at the moment, Mark.
Does Jimmy Golding put a move on him and run him wide? Does he beat him by 5 seconds? I mean, one of the things you've got to contemplate for Australia's biggest race, you put a move on, park him wide, and you hopefully have a gap. I mean, this is just anyone's game here right now with that. That penalty does impact on that young man massively. But what it does for David Reynolds, to your point, Neil, it certainly puts him right up there and in contention. On the last lap, fastest car was James Golding, second fastest car, David Reynolds.
Honestly, you dare not breathe. It's just incredible. We talk it up, we love it, we love coming here, we love the theatre of it, we love the technology, we love the teamwork, we love everything that goes on, and especially we love the skill. The skill of these young men out there and the skill of those in the background in these teams do a truly extraordinary job. And so Craig Baird has also just sent a message with a freeze frame of the reason why their opinion is that Golding did the wrong thing, and it's because of the positions of the car turning into turn 2. But it's done now. The 5 seconds is awarded. Have a go at the cloud base at the top of the hill. It continues to drop there at the moment. In fact, ultimately in race control, if they're unable for marshals to see from point to point, we end up with a situation where you can't effectively, safely conduct a motor race. Motorsport Australia are very good at the efficient running of these events, and if there's any question, actually, while I think of it too, because I've not done it all weekend, a hearty thank you and congratulations to all of the volunteers that help make this event happen bigger and better every year. Hundreds, if not thousands of people in the background give their all voluntarily for us to enjoy this very special sporting event. Next time round, we've got 2 to go, but it would be remiss not to say thank you for those that contribute.
100%, and also to our partners, the Bathurst Regional Council, for all they do here with the campgrounds and the beautiful facility that they maintain to perfection each year. And over 7,000 campsites, an annual pilgrimage, unlike any other sporting event in this country. And thank you very much for all your assistance.
Look what we've got here with 2 to go. 12 kilometres of racing. We've got a situation where Matt Payne has got 3/4 of a second. He's got James Golding behind him with a 5-second penalty, who's 2 seconds in front of David Reynolds. David Reynolds is going to be up into second position.
The guys behind, Golding's been told nothing heroic.
But Golding and Murray, given the fact that Murray is 6.4 behind the lead and about, well, literally 5 seconds behind James Golding, that'll be an interesting scenario for that last spot on the podium.
Yes, it will be, because there's nothing in that right now with that gap back. So Golding, does he actually go and take it from him? Have a lunge at him, see what happens.
Matt Payne, he is absolutely laser focused on the task here at the moment, and he's got pressure from Golding, and he will have been informed about the scenario. And what about the shot we had of Garth Tander before? Is he going to be able to stitch together number 6? And if he does that, he joins a couple of legends in Larry Perkins and Mark Scaife. They are running out of visibility at the top of the hill. It's full-blown cloud cover up there at the moment. Supercars in the mist, creeping out the other side here as we continue to look at this battle for the lead. Now, is Golding going to be able to get by him? Is he going to use some muscle? Can he make a 5-second margin here? Who knows?
Exactly. Oh, big slide there. Slide there on the exit for Payne. So as he got on the throttle and he tried to accelerate the car there, it escaped sideways on him. He had to gather it up. So does Golding now just go, wham, I'm going to fire down the inside. That's Garth Tander. He'll be contemplating life as we speak because this is a massive
He's getting
moment.
there. He's getting there. He's right up the inside. This is a big, big moment. That's a brave place to be. Is he going to be able to hang on? Are either of them going to be able to hang on to it? Golding doing everything in his power. I'll bet there's butterflies in the tummy of Garth Tander there at the moment. On the run down to the final corner. Payne from Golding. Reynolds in the background. Golding down the inside. Golding down the inside with 1 to go. Can he make a margin of more than 5 seconds? That would be an unbelievably tall order. We have got 6,200 metres to go in what has been one of the all-time Bathurst 1000s.
But Reynolds is in now. Reynolds is in this battle.
Can David Reynolds pull off something truly extraordinary? People are going to have nervous breakdowns. They're going to burst into tears. Anything is possible here at the moment.
Oh, he's lost it. Oh, good save, but he's run wide. Now David Reynolds has got to get off this corner and get up to the back of Matt Payne. It escaped sideways on the brakes for Golding. He's holding it on the inside. You don't want to be wide. And now David has a look down the inside. He's got around the outside. He'll be on the inside of Matt Payne. He'll be on the inside. He had a run and he missed it.
Yeah, we saw it, mate. We saw it.
Emotion in the garages. Everything to play for. We are completely out of breath up here. Golding's got the lead. He's got 3/4 of a second. It's David Reynolds. He's third at the moment, but on correction, that turns into second. They are feeling their way across the top of the map. You cannot see squat up there. You cannot see where you're going at the top of Mount Panorama. What a way to finish this motor race. What an extraordinary day.
Here we go, David Reynolds. He's got to get off the dipper. If he gets to the back of Matt Payne, he's a chance down Conrod Straight.
So the challenge here is that we're all programmed to look at the leader, but he's got a 5-second penalty. So the battle for the effective race lead is right there between Payne and Reynolds. They go down Conrod Straight for the last time. This is almost impossible to describe. What an extraordinary day that we are witnessing at Mount Panorama. If Payne and Tander get this, wow, they have earned it today. The margin remains. The gap is 0.8 of a second. Matt Payne in the braking area at the chase. Here is the focus. Car 100. The Penrite guys are going to go completely berserk if this actually happens. So Golding will cross the line first, but he's not going to win this motor race because of the penalty. And the victory for the 2025 Repco Bathurst 1000 belongs to Matt Payne and Garth Tander with David Reynolds and Reynolds for a second. What an unbelievable outcome.
Wow. Golding remains in third with the gap back to Murray, 5.6 seconds. So James Golding has been able to maintain the podium.
You're going to be exiting. I saw him on the left after turn 1. Exiting on the left after turn 1.
Unbelievable races in the history of this sport.
Anybody could win this race today.
Yep.
Anybody can win it. It is wide open. We've been racing for 2.5 hours. We've got a long way to go. The Red Bull cars are lying astern at the moment. They're 7th and 8th. The conditions are getting worse. It's pretty much on target. We expected things to get ropey around 2 o'clock, and it's slippery up there. They're on a slick tyre, but they'll hang on as long as they can in these conditions. And the leader's off. Castki's gone off the road. This is going to gift the lead to Waters. Brodie made a mistake. He did look like he was barely hanging on. He's gone from 1st to 2nd to 3rd, but he now argues the case down the inside and he reclaims 2nd. But Ojeda wants to make a fight out of this. Brodie hangs on. Now he's on the attack. Dives it up the inside and they make contact into turn 1. Waters and Castki have got a fight to the death going on with 96 to go.
And Jamie Whincup was completely out of control in the braking area. There's 6 cars within 3 or 4 car lengths. That was unbelievable. And Brodie's now accelerating by him. He's got a little side draft. What happens in the braking area at turn 2? The inside run for Waters might be powerful here. He gets it. Brodie's going to have to fall back in behind. Holdsworth now 3rd.
Have a look at the slide for Waters. He went full sprint car spec through the right-hander at turn 2. Brodie went from 1st to 2nd to 3rd, argued the case, got to 2nd and is back in the battle for the lead. He's on the outside here of Waters. He's got better traction and he's grabbed the lead. Can you believe this, Australia? Castki is back in the lead. Waters is going punch for punch. Somebody's going to end up in a wall if they're not careful. Waters, Castki. How about Holdsworth in 3rd? Ojeda, somewhat of a rookie in this caper, is in with the heavyweights. And in behind him at the moment is Lowndes. Then it's Whincup and then Murray. Cam Waters leads the Bathurst 1000. This is a race.
Waters just rounded up Castki around the outside at Repco Park. That is just unbelievable. The first move for Castki around the outside of the cutting, and then the return of serve for Waters. This is tremendous driving by these 2 blokes at the front. It's out of control. How about this one? This is one of the best exchanges we've ever seen. Castki around the outside of Waters there, right? That never gets done. Never. This one, up under the tree. Waters dives in there, they bump each other. He drives around the outside of him at Sulman Park and parks it in front of him at Repco Park. That never happens. I've never seen a pass at either spot.
So going back to what we were analysing there, and have a look at this. I mean, they're jammed in each other's doors. That's 1/3 of a second. Forget about what the stopwatch says now and the computer margin. We've got a motor race again. But it took a lot of laps because that's where he was pre-pit stop. But he's got away with it, but he's had to use a lot of tyre energy. So now, with a very fast car on the last lap, the fastest car was the Monster Energy Mustang. The 2nd fastest car was Brock Feeney. So Brock has stepped it up. Yep. He's lifted up from around, he's been running around 5th or 6th quickest, but now he's under fire. And Waters has a gigantic lunge down there into the hairpin, and he's right on him. Lost a little bit of ground, in fact, on that move on the way in versus out.
Just had a little lock up, front right lock up, and understeered a little bit wide. But it is, we say often in this sport that it's one thing to catch them. Next thing is to make a move and make a proper manoeuvre stick.
He's having a think about it. He's having a lunge. Goes for a gulp of fresh air once again. 4 laps to go, 0.2 of a second. There's nothing in it. He carries pace into turn 1, and he's got the slide going, Cam Waters. He's looking for a double victory. If you're Brock Feeney, you're looking for your first podium at Sydney Motorsport Park and redemption from a tough night last night. So, hi, mate, I'm here. Rat-a-tat-tat. Yep, I'm Cam Waters, and I'm right on the rear bumper. So, huge pressure through turn 3. Brock will be well and truly aware of the pressure of now. The lunge comes down the inside, and there is contact between the two. What a disaster. So Waters has gone down the inside and barreled into the side. And Will Brown could end up being the beneficiary because Waters is redressing. What a catastrophic end to the race. With only 4 laps to go. A disaster here. What a mess. More contact now as Brown makes contact with the back of Waters. It's something of a schmozzle at the back end as they all try and figure out who's where. It's a mess.
Oh, he's put him off the road again. Now it's another bump. This is on for young and old. This is great stuff.
Unbelievable. So,
Readdress like that.
is Waters going to get away with that, or is he going to get a slap from the umpire? We're right at the sharp end of this race. All the drivers have lit up on the radio. They've all got a point of view. But what we've got at the moment is an unbelievable situation where there's a gigantic question mark hanging over the top of Cam Waters. All of a sudden, you've got two Red Bull cars either side of the monster car, 3 laps to go, nothing between them, and the blood is up in every direction.
Absolutely, and all the chat over the radio is you can't just redress like that. So there's going to be two schools of thought. Down the inside was Cam Waters at turn 4. They made contact, then Feeney went off the road. Straight away, Waters backed it off, parked on the left-hand side of the road, and let him go by. But it wasn't him, it was his teammate, Will Brown. So the two cars then got caught up.
So, Feeney leads from Waters, leads from Brown. There will be a lot of discussion about this afterwards. There'll be furrowed brows in race control as they try to unpack this one. And right at the moment, Brock Feeney's got the ascendancy in this car race. But there's a gigantic question over what happened back there. That's 0.2 of a second. What an unbelievable scenario watching that. And incident noted. It sure was, by hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So that has got everybody thinking. And I'm not sure that Cam will get away with that one. But a great motor race. So a thriller to be able to get back up into the teeth of this battle. But that big dive down the inside and resulting in the contact. We've got 2 to go. I've got no doubt that race control will look at this one after the fact. They'll be unpacking data and vision as we speak. Feeney leads, 0.1 of a second. And Waters has dropped that right rear off the edge of the sawtooth curve down there and only just barely wrestled it back on. He's not surrendering here. He's having another attack. We've only got 6 kilometres of racing to go and he starts to range up on the outside. There is nothing in it. It's a feeler gauge margin between first and second. It's another dive that he's thinking about down the inside here at turn 4. He thought about it, but this time decides to back away. But here comes Brown. He has a lunge down the inside as well. Forces the issue at turn 5 and there's nothing in it here. Will's up the inside and he'll continue with this all the way down to turn 6. They're chasing each other all over the road. And does he squeeze by? I think he's going to get him by the time they get to Corporate Hill. No, he didn't get the drive out of there, Brown. Waters clinging to second place by his fingernail.
So Waters thinks he hasn't done anything wrong and he's just trying to get Feeney. But Brown's playing into the game. So Brown doing that manoeuvre at turn 5 and then pushing him wide down to turn 6 has taken the heat off Feeney for half a lap.
Meantime, have a look behind. Mostert and Payne are right there in 4th and 5th. It's going to be a 5-way battle. No investigation necessary between 6-1 and 88. So there's been a call. So there's been a call from the umpire. It is game on. So that'll set the tone.
It's on.
It's on. Gloves off. Yeah. So we've got 1 lap to go. 3.91 kilometres. Feeney, Waters, Brown, Mostert and Payne in 5th position. There is only 2.5 seconds across the top 5 cars in the field. And our umpire has said no investigation necessary. So what you see is what you get. Is Waters going to be able to do anything? Brown's tucked right in behind him, and Brock Feeney might get not only his first podium, but victory at Sydney Motorsport Park.
What an unbelievable race. We've argued for years that we should let this stuff play out on the track. And this is what has happened in terms of the play between these two teams. And the way that Will Brown was able to get involved in that, it actually helped Feeney massively. Waters runs into 6. He's only got 2 spots now. He's got over the hill and into turn 8. He's not close enough to put a move on here. But he does come off turn 8 better than Feeney. Can he fire down at the Mostert spot and get into the last corner on the inside?
They're wearing each other's cars at the moment through turn 8 for the very last time. Brock Feeney is our leader. It will be a desperate lunge by Waters when they get up to the final couple of corners. There is nothing in it. And he gets right onto the rear bumper again and tries to get up the inside. It's going to be on, it's going to be on, it's going to be on. He goes down the inside. This is an extraordinary conclusion to this motor race. I think that Feeney might just hang on. What an absolute rip of the race. But he's coming down there. Oh my goodness, it's been a change. Unbelievable finish to that motor race. I am blown away. I am blown away by what I have just seen. Oh my goodness me. By the margin of 0.030. I would not have thought that was possible at the last corner.
No way, absolutely no way. How's the side draft? And even the bump, Will Brown gave him a bump, pushed him wide, and then he come up there so straight.
We played hard mode today, mate. We played hard mode, but we still got it.
That is a remarkable finish. I love this game when it's like that. That was just absolutely incredible.
Never gave up.
That's taken that breath away. Unbelievable. Well done, Cam Waters. 2 from 2. First of all, I thought he was going to get a smack on the head from the umpire. That didn't happen. And that last couple, I knew this was going to happen down here in those last couple of corners, giving him a tickle up. And then Will's there as well. But I thought at this stage that was it. But the benefit of the side draft, you called it a moment ago, I thought, okay, Feeney might get there. And at this point, he just scoots down the inside and snatches victory. Oh my goodness me. That has blown my brain.
Oh my God.
How is that?
What
That's
a cool
Dead Set
finish.
Lightning McQueen finished that one.
Watch this. This will be the reaction.
Yeah. Yes. Simon Brookhouse, Sam Potter, the men and women. Rod Nash is like, oh my goodness.
Get the security guard.
That's seriously, that is one of the best motor races of all time.